Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Gacheri MJ here. I am out here in the woods. I had come to enjoy a little bit of silence, and I figured I should probably just do my YouTube video for this week while I'm at it. And so last week I had said that what I'm going to be doing for this week is I'm going to share some of the resolutions that I've made for myself for this year. So I'm just going to share some of those. And the ones that I've chosen to share for this video are those that I've decided to do for myself and to help me become a much better person, right? So of course I came with my notebook, so I'm just going to read some of those resolutions. I'm just going to read some of them. So the first resolution is I intend to embrace silence. It's one of the reasons why I'm out here, actually. So I realized that I'm a person who likes noise, if I may say. Like, I have a very big problem managing silence. I even find it very hard to silence my own thoughts, you see. And this year would like to be the kind of person who is able to embrace silence, because I realize that silence is good, it's divine, and it helps a lot. And especially when you need to clear your thoughts, right? Silence is good for that. And so for this year I decided that I would want to embrace silence, and I've already started on it. I came here and I've been seated here for about an hour. I enjoyed nature, the fresh air, and the birds are singing up in the sky, which is good. And it's also helped me calm myself and think through quite a number of things that I needed to think through. I was able to think through them, which is very good. So this year I intend to embrace silence more, even in the presence of people. Sometimes it's good to just be quiet and just listen to people. And when I embrace silence, it's also going to help me be a much better listener, because I really am a terrible listener. I mean it, I am terrible. So yes, I intend to embrace silence. The second one is forgive myself. I've always struggled with forgiving myself, especially when I do something that is really, really big. And I always struggle to forgive myself. I even find it much easier to forgive people when they hurt me than it is for me to forgive myself. And when I don't forgive myself, I'm angry. I'm like, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm angry every other minute, at myself. And it has really been hurting me a lot over the years. And so this year I decided that I want to love myself more, and forgiveness is going to be one of the acts that I'm going to do and show myself that I love myself by forgiving myself. Actually, yesterday I did something, and in the evening I went to bed and I was like, oh my God, MJ, what the hell, girl? Did you really just do that? And while I was walking to come here and just relax, I asked myself, wait, so why are you mad at yourself for that? I thought we told each other, that is me having a conversation with myself, right? I thought we told each other that this year we need to forgive MJ more, extend a lot more of love towards her. And I forgave myself, and it's fine. I decided it's fine. I did that. The best thing that I can do is just learn from it and just move on. So yes, forgive myself is the next one. The third one is to receive and accept love more. I struggle with accepting love, and most especially from my friends, who I'm sure if they watch this, they're going to be like, yeah, that woman. Okay, fine, I know. Uh, you know, I have a problem. It's very easy for me to tell someone that I love them. Okay, but I have a very I'm not I don't know how to behave when someone tells me that they love me, or when someone does a very good thing for me. Like if someone, especially my girlfriends, if they buy me like presents or something like that, I'm just like, okay. I don't know how to respond to it, and I act weird, by the way. But now I've decided that I'm going to be accepting and receiving love. I know that I'm worthy of love. I just don't usually know how to be expressive when it comes to it. And so this year I intend to accept love more. So yes, JM, yes, I'm going to be accepting love and I'm going to be telling people that I love them more this year. Okay, JM is my friend. I know when she sees this, she's going to be like, haha. Anyway, the next one is, if it's not serving you, MJ, let it go. So this one, I've been struggling with it because for me, the issue is usually when I look back at whatever it is that is probably not serving me, and I realize that I've spent my resources, I've spent my time on it, and I'm like, letting go of this is just gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. And now I made the decision that one way of loving myself is letting go of things that are not serving me. So whatever it is, even if it's a habit that I've developed, and I realize that habit is not serving me. I mean, I'm not going to die, you know. It's not like it's air that I'm breathing. I can actually let go. And even in terms of relationships and how people and what I accept from people and what I stand, you know, I've told myself that I don't really need to push my boundaries too much because it ends up hurting me. And sometimes it's much better to hurt while letting go than hurting and still holding on to that thing. So if it's not serving me, I intend to let it go. And I believe that doing that is going to be good for my health, right? Yes. The next one is to relearn myself. So I've realized that over time I have changed, and I've changed the way that I respond to things, how I feel about things. And one of the reasons why I've been having a very hard time forgiving myself, and I've always been so hard on myself, is because I I put these crazy, insane expectations on myself without understanding that as time goes and as I change, I move from one stage of life to another. I'm changing, and I need to learn and understand that I am changing and it is okay. So this year I'm going to be relearning myself. I'll cut myself some slack for starters, and I will, whenever I go through a situation and I respond in a particular way, I'll take time to think through it and be like, okay, so MJ, this is what you did and whatever, and I expected that you would do it like this because that's how you've always done before, but now you're not doing it like that, which is fine. And then be able to move on from there. So this year I'm going to take some time to continuously relearn myself, right? And the other one is pursue what I love. When I say pursue what I love, I'm talking about things like, for example, I love making YouTube videos, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I even carried my lapel pin. I carry my mic everywhere. I made the decision that since I love making YouTube videos and it's something that just makes me happy, you know, I just feel good, I'm going to be carrying the resources that I need for that everywhere that I go. So that if I feel like doing one, I'll just do one. I love writing. I love poetry, especially. So I'm going to be spending time doing such a thing as that I love. You see, these are things that I don't get any material benefit from them, but that calmness and the good feeling that I get from them is just awesome. You see, I love photography, so I'm learning how to edit photos, how to take better photos. You know, I intend to do all that. So if I love something and that thing makes me feel good, I'm going to do it. I love books. I love looking at books. I love just having books. I love reading books. I just love books everywhere, you know, and notebooks. When I say books, I mean like books that I read and even notebooks. So you know what? I'm just going to be buying those notebooks if I really, really need it, because there's another point that I wrote about that. But you know, I'm going to be doing things that I love, and especially if they're serving me and I can see that they're going to make me a much better person. Okay. The other one is to push myself, and onto that one I added just do 5 extra minutes. So I want to push myself to do things just a little, to go just an extra mile, like a little teeny tiny one. For example, if I'm jogging in the morning and I intend to jog for say 15 minutes, I just tell myself, Gacheri, just do 5 more minutes. I push myself just to do it just for 5 more minutes extra. You see, if I'm working on something and I kind of feel, oh, I'm tired, but then I can do just 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, it won't kill me. And you see, it is those small steps that I'm going to be making, doing 5 more. If I run 5 more minutes today, tomorrow I'm going to now do another 5 more minutes, which is going to be now 10 more extra minutes. The next day, another one. So my intention for that, the resolution of pushing myself, is just push myself just a little bit extra, and then tomorrow a little bit extra. And when those small changes and pushes and extra minutes that I put into it are going to, eventually they're going to add up, you see. But when I just tell myself, push myself just 5 minutes, it's something that is manageable for me, right? I can push myself for 5 minutes. I mean, just 5 minutes, but I know at the end of it all, it's going to add up, right? Where did I read that? I think I read it one in The Greatest Salesman. There is a chapter that says, what does it say? But there is something, there is a part that talks about that. I also think I read it in The Compound Effect, or is it Atomic Habits? Just one of those books. But I've been practicing, I started practicing it last year, and it really worked well. You see, I realized that when I push myself that extra, it usually adds up and it becomes something major. So I intend to continue with that one. Then this one, it's because I need to improve myself on that particular habit. So this one I wrote: if you spend on it, write it down. If you want to buy it, just sleep on it. Yes. So I'm spendthrift. Okay, I'm spendthrift, and I know it, and I need to work. I know that's an area that I need to work on. So I learned about this from a book, The Compound Effect, I think. I don't remember. Yes, I think it's a compound effect. Anyway, they were talking about keeping a money log, right? And last year I had started doing that. I had even shared this with a couple of friends of mine and told them that they should start keeping a money log. A money log basically is you just write down everything that you spend your money on. You see, so I started doing it. Then somewhere along the way, so many things started happening in my life. I actually lost track of that particular of that. But now I want to go back to it, and I already started. Actually, I started last month, towards the end of last month in December, because I wanted, by the time we get to January, I've already picked up the habit, right? So nowadays, whenever I purchase something, I write it down, even if it's just something, an household thing, or when I do shopping, I write it down, because I want to be able to track my finances, and because I want to come and look back at the things that I bought and be mad at myself for buying things that I did not need. Okay, so that I can stop being spendthrift. And the other one that I've attached to that is, if you, sorry, I just had something move. Anyway, so the other one that I've attached to that is, if you need to buy it, sleep on it. I realized that one of the reasons why I'm such a spendthrift is because I'll see something, and because I feel I want it, it's probably, most of the times, it's not even a need, because if it's something that you need, most of the time you're going to budget for it and plan for it. But these other things, I'm just going to be walking in the streets and I'll see a shoe, or I walk into some shop and I see a shoe, and I just decide to buy the shoe, you see. And the truth of the matter is, I don't really need a pair of shoe. So I decided, if I see something and I want it, I should probably just sleep on it. You never know, I might just sleep on it and realize that I didn't need it as much. So I attached that point to the first one of writing things down. The other one, let me just share this being the last one. Yeah. The other one is, be intentional. This resolution of being intentional is one of the most powerful of all the resolutions that I've written here, because when I'm intentional about the things that I do, including these other things that I've written here, if I'm intentional about them, that's when they're going to be successful. If I'm actually intentional about making myself a better person, pushing myself for those extra 5 minutes, it's only by being intentional about it that it's going to be successful. I intend to be intentional about all the aspects of my life. I intend to be intentional as a mother. Of course, as a friend, I also intend to be intentional. As a child of God, I intend to be intentional in that area also, and even in my relationships and my actions. I want to be, when I'm doing something, it's because I actually want to do it, and I feel that it is what I want to do. You see, I want to be intentional in the things that I think about, and to be able to control my mind and my thoughts, and to think good stuff, you see. I believe that when we are intentional and when I'm able to practice this, because sometimes I think I just do things for the sake of doing them, let's go, I'm going. Why am I even going? I don't even know why I'm going. You see, some of these things, you know, oh my God. Anywho, I decided that I want to be intentional, and I know that if I'm intentional in my action, in my thoughts, in my relationships, in all the different aspects of my life, I believe that I'm going to be a much better person. Okay, so I also have I have a whole load of other resolutions that I came up with concerning where I want to be at the end of the year in terms of, what are some of the things that I want to accomplish. I have a whole list of, like, a bucket list of the things that I also intend to do for this year. One of those things is I intend to learn how to swim. Oh my God, it's long overdue. I mean, I'm a old woman and I don't even know how to swim. But anyway, so I have a list of other resolutions that I've made, but I figured I just share those. Those are resolutions that I want to do for me, and just for me, Yes, and for to everyone, whatever resolutions that you have for this year, I really wish you the very best. I pray that the good Lord is going to give you the strength and the grace and the finances and the willpower that you need to be able to accomplish your resolutions. And I say, even if you did not accomplish last year's resolutions, just carry them over. Just carry them over. It's not biggie. I mean, and it doesn't matter how small or big your resolutions are. They're still resolutions, and they are good. So I'm intending to, I will check myself every 2 3 after every quarterly is after 3 months. Yes, after 3 months. Some of these I already started off on them, like, now I'm here to embrace silence, which is very good. And it feels good when you write something down and do it. It's just beautiful. Anywho, that is all from me for today. I wish you the very best for this year, and I believe things are going to go well for all of us. Bye bye. Love you. Mwah.